Hi guys, gals, and my non-gender conforming pals. My name is Carrington and welcome back to my channel. Or if you are new here, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button down below and click the little bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. So for today's video, we're gonna do my monthly favorites and fails. Some products are new, some products are not, but we're just gonna kind of dive in. I'm not gonna have any specific where I do like favorites first, fails last, fails first, favorites last. It's just kind of all gonna be mixed in together. So if you want to see what my monthly favorites and fails were, then definitely keep on watching. I'm going to do something that's not really makeup related. It's instead like skincare related. And that are these Hempz lotions. This one is a limited edition. I got it last year. I don't know if it's going to be available this year. But it's the pumpkin spice and vanilla chai. I think that they have incredible lotions. They are super, super scented. They last a long time and they make my body feel super nice when I use this. I do really love the pumpkin spice vanilla chai one, but I've used like a strawberry banana one and a couple others, and I just use one at a time. And so I highly recommend these. These are so good to have in your collection. This has been out for a while and I'm probably late to the game, but the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This is such a good highlighter. It's at Ulta. It's super cheap. And it's subtle. So if you want something that's nice and subtle and really sinks into the skin, this is definitely going to be it. I have Intend Be My Highlight. I don't know if there are other ones or not. Whenever I purchased this, it was only this one was available. But I'm really liking this for days when I just kind of want something that's a little bit more subtle on my skin. I definitely reach for this one. Got 3 more highlights. Okay, I'm a highlight slower. Okay, so this one's from the drugstore. I just did a video using my top drugstore products. That's where I got this look. This video will be up after that one, so I'll have it linked down below. But it's so nice for a drugstore. The like imprint is super nice, and then it just, look at that. Like that is so blind. Like you can tell, like compared to the Pure Nude, that one is definitely more subdued, and this one is definitely more blinding. I just think this is a really good option for something that you can just go and pick up from the drugstore, and I've really been loving this. Anytime I'm going to like wear a drugstore highlighter, I'm usually picking this for my blinding days and then the Pure for my non-blinding days. High-end. So I love the Benefit Cookie highlighter. This, they did such a good job. Just the way it feels. Look at that. Like, oh, I love it. It's so nice and creamy. It has a great texture. If I went outside, like the aliens from space would be able to see me. So good. Definitely, this is definitely worth picking up. But you have to be careful with their other products. I don't like any of their blushes. I think that they don't show up super well. And I don't want to have to sit there and keep digging like 20 times and patting. I have 20 layers of blush for it to show up. I'm just not a fan of that. Their Hoola bronzer is nice, and then this cookie highlighter is nice. I will say those are 2 things to definitely check out from them if you're interested in anything from them. My last highlighter is a little bit of a bougie highlighter, but I think it's worth it. It's the Hourglass, and I have it in the mini, and mine is in Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder. Brilliant. I don't know if they have different ones, but this is what it looks like. It's really nice. It's super mini. Just Hourglass just does complexion products right. And this is, again, super subtle. So I've got, you know, I've got a drugstore subtle one, a drugstore blinding one, a high-end blinding one, and a high-end subtle one. This just really does not emphasize any of my textures. It goes on super nice with one swipe. This is definitely one that I like. I know it's super expensive. It was like $24 for this mini, and you only get, does it tell you how many products? 0.04 ounces or 1.3 grams. And so that's not a lot. Like that's a lot of money for $24. And I think like the big ones are like 40 or 48, something like that. so good. It's so good. On to our first fail. The NARS Climax Mascara. I loved this when I first put it on. I thought it did something really, really great with my lashes. The wear time on this sucks. By the end of the night, which I'm sure if you guys have seen that video, I tried out some like high-end makeup and did a wear test. By the end of the night, I had mascara all up here, all down here. It was just a mess. So I think maybe it might be good if you're only gonna use, you know, for a couple hours, but I'm not trying to put on makeup for like a couple hours. Like, I'm trying to put on makeup to make it last through the day because I have to work and do other things like that. And this just wasn't it. So this was a fail for me. Foundation. I just tried this. It's the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. It's so good. I know it's expensive. It's like $48 for 1 ounce. But guys, this made my skin look so nice. And I will say it lasted pretty well. About 8 hours in, it was starting to break up. So if you're doing anything longer than 8 hours, you know, you might need to do some touch-ups with it. But to me, just the way it sat on my, it like sank into my skin, the way it wore, the way it made my dry skin look, it was phenomenal. So this was definitely a favorite for me this month. And since I've tried that, I've used that almost every single day. I love it. Another one from Laura Mercier that I tried was their translucent setting powder. This was really nice. It really, really smoothed out my under eyes. I think it just really did something special to my skin. And so I really enjoy this. The bad part about powders for me is that I'm only setting underneath my eyes because my face is so dry. So I'm not trying to set anywhere else because then it looks so textured and cakey, especially when I'm putting like more powders on top, like bronzers, highlights, blushes, stuff like that. And so since I'm not putting anything else under my lower, what am I trying to say? Underneath my lash? No. Yes. No, underneath my under eyes. That's what I'm trying to say. Underneath my under eyes, then that's where I'm going to go in with the powder. And it's just, it's expensive. And I feel like people could easily go through their powders if they're setting their whole face. I'm literally just setting underneath my under eyes. So it takes me forever to use a powder. So I'm kind of always iffy about buying something that's new, or especially if it's high-end, because I'm just not going to go through it super fast. On to another fail. And the only reason I'm saying this is a fail is because of the shades. And that is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This is in the shade Ivory. This is the lightest shade that they have. Like, it's not like adding any lightness to my skin. It's almost yellow and darker than my skin tone. I like the formula of this. I think it's a great formula. And it's going to be great if you can find something in your shade match. I can't find anything in my shade range with this. So for me, it's just a fail. And honestly, I'm probably just going to get rid of it or give it to somebody else. Another favorite is this Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I love this for cream contouring. I think for my skin tone, this does an exceptionally good job. I especially love it for along the nose. Love, love, love it for that. So it is expensive. Charlotte Tilbury is expensive. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is by any means cheap and doable. It's $38 for this, and you get 0.4 fluid ounces. That's not a ton for $38. So, but I love this. So, is it something you need to run out and grab if you have a cream contour that you like? No. Is it something I would say if you're in the market for one and kind of want something luxurious that I think is extraordinary? Then yes. Definitely recommend this. On the theme of Charlotte Tilbury, the Pillow Talk Lip Liner. For me, this honestly just makes such a good lip liner, such a good pinky nude for me. I love this. And actually, I know that this is the #1 sold lip liner in the United States. If that, I mean, if this is the number one, obviously that's saying something. It's got to be good. So I definitely love this. Definitely recommend it. Definitely a good pinky nude for me. Another favorite. These Patrick Ta blushes. These are so good. This one is She's That Girl. So you've got a cream right here. And then you've got the powder. They just come really nicely pigmented. And you can, if you just want to use a cream that day, you can use a cream. If you just want to use a powder that day, you can use a powder. If you want to mix them, you can do it even with like the powder on the bottom and then the cream on top, or vice versa. I just love how versatile this is. I love the packaging. It's so nice and sleek. The only bad part is that, as you can tell, it gets a whole bunch of like fingerprints all over it. So that's not, you know, the greatest, but these are just so good. Definitely check at least one of them out. I would just say just one. It'll change your game. I believe Beauty Lock It In eyeshadow primer. So good at Dollar General for $4. And it's so good. And for $4 you get 3.2 mils or 0.11 fluid ounces. And you don't need a lot for your eyes. And it just is just incredible. This far exceeds any of my other eyeshadow primers. So good. Definitely go check your hands out. Go check it out. Go get your hands on this. Last other makeup product before we kind of get into eyeshadow palettes. And this is a fail. It was a huge fail for me. The Kiss Magnetic Lashes. This is a no. This is just no. So first of all, just the liner itself does not, so my inner corners on both sides just kept popping up and popping up. So you have to make like your inner corners and your outer corners super thick to get them to stay. I have super hooded eyes. Like as thick as I need to make it for it to stay, it's covering up the rest of my eyes. Like it's basically all my eyes are just eyeliner. So I did not like that. Also, I don't like, so after I like took off my lashes and I went to scrub it off, I use a cleansing balm. Not all of it would come off. So then I tried a cleansing oil. And again, not all of it would come off. It was like 2 to 3 days of continuously using a balm every time I washed my face to get it off. And I didn't apply any other makeup those next couple of days until it came off. And just throughout the day, it would just transfer all over my eyelid, all over down here. The liner did that was left over. It was awful. I do not recommend these. I don't know if the Glamnetics are any good or any of the other ones, or Allure I think may have some. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to try any of those, because after trying these and finding out that these were hot garbage, I don't know if I want to try any other magnetic liners. But if you have tried these and tried something else and found something that works better, leave it down in the comments and I'll definitely check them out. But for me, hot trash. I have 4 eyeshadow palettes. 2 fails, 2 favorites. So let's kind of dive in. My first fail is the ColourPop Candyland Castle. I was so excited for this palette. I love Candyland. Like, this was so nostalgic. I almost lost my shit. I had to have the whole thing. And I was so excited for it, just looking at the color scheme. All but 3 mattes have sparkles in them that don't really blend away super well. You only have 2 shimmers, and the shimmers are nice, but they just don't show up super nice. And I'm super pale, so you would think like this would show up on me. I just had a tough time with it, and so it just wasn't for me. I'm gonna keep this because it's Candyland and it's like nostalgic. But as for like being something extraordinary or revolutionary that I think everybody needs to have, no. This is also on sale on Ulta like last week for like $10 or something like that. So clearly other people aren't vibing with this. It didn't sell out. It's still not sold out. Well, actually, I don't know. Is it sold out now? Because they had like that, like 25% off. And so I wonder if it went on sale then. Or if it, I know it went on sale, duh. But if it sold out then. I don't know. I haven't checked. I just know this was a no for me. My favorite palettes is the Sydney Grace Tiny Marbles. This is my new palette. So it's, you're like, well, that's not used. That's because I was using my old one. And then they had like the shades were broken. So then they sent me another one. You guys, this palette is creamy and so pigmented. Like, just look at that. It is so stinking nice. 10 out of 10 say this is worth every penny. I don't know. So I know that they released this and then they were doing a like pre-order. I don't know if they're still doing that. And then I don't know if they're going to restock again where you guys can try to also get it if you didn't do the restock. I don't know that much about it. All I know is if you guys can get your hands on this, definitely recommend. Next palette. My favorite is the Moonspell. I'm sure you guys are like, Carrington, shut up. Stop talking about this stupid palette. But it's good, guys. Like, this is so good. How can you... Okay. That's something stuck to me. This is so good. First of all, packaging, 10 out of 10. Color story, 10 out of 10. Quality, 10 out of 10. Like, everything about this is a 10 out of 10. Why don't you own it yet? You guys, pick this up. It is stunning. And the shade names are after witches. And, like, the book is like it's a magical book. I love it. And I've seen that ColourPop is coming out with the Hocus Pocus collection. I am excited. I really feel like, I hope their launch doesn't go how most of them go, where like people are buying like 10, 15 of the collection and then it's sold out in 5 seconds. That drives me nuts. So hopefully they're going to do something where like maybe like they limit the amount. I don't know. But I have to get that. And this is 10 out of 10. Recommend. If you don't have any other palettes and you don't want to buy any other palettes, just buy this one and then just don't buy any others. But this one, 10 out of 10. So a fail is my Storybook Cosmetics Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I have lots of their palettes. I have like this Harry Potter, the Mean Girls, the Little Red Riding Hood. Maybe that's it. So then I bought this one because this was on Ulta's website. I don't know what happened. Like, I love the quality in the other ones, but this one was just kind of meh. Wasn't that great. So I'm going to say, like, if you want a Storybook Cosmetics palette, I would go with any other one that's not this one. I think, like, the color story is, you know, like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Oh, I just stuck my finger in there. Well, here, let's watch it. It says Mike TV. You see, like, I don't know. I just don't care for this one. I just don't think the quality is as good as the other ones. So for me this month, it's a fail. About like 3 other products. So I'm going to talk about them now and then we'll be done. So another favorite is this Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Volume Mascara. I only have to put on 1 coat for my lashes to look amazing. So I got this with a free gift because I spent like over $50. Now I have to go buy the full size when this is out. This is so good. Another, why can't I think of what I'm trying to talk about? Another favorite for me is the KKW Nude 1 Lip. I love pairing this with the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. And I would have segued into this with that if I would have like, okay, my desk is a mess. Like, I don't know where anything is on here. I need to clean it. But have I? No. Am I going to? I hope so. But I think that those two just like pair together so nicely. And I know a lot of people like don't care for the Kardashian sisters and stuff like that, but KKW's makeup line does lip products so well. Like, I love them. So for me, this was definitely a favorite. Last product, and this product is a fail. the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. No, this was a no. First of all, it's super, super light coverage just to begin with. But then I was like, okay, well, maybe I just need to add some like color corrector or maybe build it up a little bit. By the end of the night, which was only like 7.5 hours later, like it was almost completely gone underneath my eyes. And I had sat it with a nice powder, with my Laura Mercier powder. This just, save your money. You don't need this. Just go ahead and save it. I will say the foundation is okay. So that's not my favorites or my fails because it's just like a, yeah, it's nice. Doesn't wear long. It's not a huge fail like this one, but it's not something where I feel like I need to reach for it every single day. Alright guys, and that concludes this video. These were all of my favorites and fails for this month. Let me know what your favorites and fails were for this month. What are some things you're loving? Are your preferences changing now that it's kind of changing of the season? Let me know down below. And that is it for today's video. Bye.